Okay. How does this Ice Blue 333? Currently, it is January the 22nd, 2026. Okay, so it's come out. It came out on January the 21st, 2026. That James Comer, he's gonna hold Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress because they did not show up to their depositions. They originally was supposed to show up to their depositions, I believe, on October 9th for Hillary Clinton and October 14th, 2025. But they never. I think they sent a letter instead. So anyway, James Comer, They started the proceedings in regards to basically holding them in contempt of Congress. So we'll see how this plays out. I just found another progression in regards to Donald Trump, where I believe his progressed moon is going to conjoin his IC, or it's going to oppose his midheaven, and so that coincides with lawsuits in regards to people inside of a circle, basically suing um Donald Trump and the people inside of a circle. The last time this happened, the last two times this happened that I've seen so far, and this is his progressed moon conjoining his natal IC, or opposing his natal midheaven. The last time I saw it happen was around 1973, I believe, and that's when I believe uh the Trump Management Company, or Donald Trump's father's company, which Donald Trump he also worked for, they were sued in regards to there was a discrimination lawsuit, and also is it racial discrimination lawsuit, something like this. Just research it and you'll find out. So there was some kind of racial discrimination lawsuit, and then also this progression. It happened again um on, I believe, in 1998, and there was some other incident where Donald Trump and his company was sued for some reason. I think it was like harsh working conditions or something like that. So it's going to happen again on February 1st, 2026. And so all I can think of is basically how this how did these proceedings are going in regards to James Comer and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, because I think they used this excuse saying that um all these other politicians, they did not have to show up to their depositions or whatever, and they're saying that why does Bill Clinton have to show up to his deposition anyway. So there's gonna that might lead to some stuff, but also around, I believe, January 30th, 2026. That's the deadline for the new funding bill to be voted on or whatever. And I see all the way back, I believe, on October 5th, right? October 5th, 2025. Bill Clinton, he had a progression to his Jupiter, and I think some stuff should have came down in regards to him and probably Epstein or whatever. But because he had a progression to Jupiter, he got lucky. Bill Clinton. It seems, and like I said back then, it's like every time there's one of these Democrats, these prominent Democrats, have a progression to Jupiter, it's a bad thing for Donald Trump. So weirdly enough, I think in 4 days from now, today's the 22nd. So on January 26th, 2026, Adam Schiff, he has a progression to Jupiter, and this is like what 6 days before the deadline for this bill to be voted on in regards to keeping the government open, because the government was shut down, I believe, all the way back on October 1st. So yeah, let me pause a second to get a little water. So okay, so I'm back. But okay, so like I was saying, Adam Schiff, he has a progression to Jupiter on January 26th, 2026, that's in 4 days. But 2 days before that, on January 24th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, he had his progressed moon will make a trine to his progressed Pluto. And I think the last time Bill Clinton's Pluto was aspected, it was on December 17th, 2025. And that was around the time that the Epstein Transparency Act, it basically said that the DOJ had to release all the Epstein files, and it came out, I believe, on December 24th, right? That they found a million more files in regards to Epstein. So I'm just saying that on January 24th, 2006, something else could come up in regards to the to there some Epstein files, possibly in relation to Bill Clinton. But for some reason, Adam Schiff, he has progression to Jupiter, so it's like he gets lucky for some reason. And whenever Adam Schiff gets lucky, it's a bad event for Donald Trump. let me not forget to say that on January 14th, 2026, Donald Trump he had a progression to Saturn, and pretty much that means that this whole period of time, this month, is going to be a depressing period of time for Donald Trump. So let's see here. Now, so the funding bill is deadline to be voted on is, I believe, on January 30th, 2026. And weirdly enough, Hillary Clinton, her transiting Saturn in the side of the sky, is going to conjoin Hillary Clinton's natal moon on January 30th, 2026 as well. So I don't know if they're not going to vote it. I don't know if they're not going to vote it. Oh, blah. Can't talk right. I don't know if they are going to vote on it or not. But I do see that for Donald Trump, on February 1st, his progressive moon will make an opposition to his natal midheaven. And that coincides with like a lawsuit in regards to the people that are inside of his circle or whatever. Looking further ahead, on February 12th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressive moon will quincunx his progressed sun. And that's like an ego boost, but the last time I saw this happen inside of Donald Trump's chart, there was like I think 2 mass shootings. And also, but around this time also, Donald Trump, he was having this kind of celebration in regards to the golf tournament. So I would say it could be an ego boost, but I would just say for now, an event could come out in regards to Bill Clinton on February 12th, 2026. Oh, well, I forgot. Pam Bundy. She is I think she's subpoenaed to testify. Yeah. Pam Bundy is to testify, I believe, on February 11th, 2026. I think to Congress like that. So something come out in regards to Pam Bundy that may give Bill Clinton an ego boost. We'll see what comes up with that. Also, it seems like also on February 9th, 2026, Ghislaine Maxwell, I think she's supposed to testify as well, but I think her lawyer said that she's gonna plead the fifth. Let me pause a second. Okay, so on February 9th, 2026, I think Ghislaine Maxwell, she's supposed to testify somewhere. And basically I think her lawyer said that she plans on pleading the fifth because I don't know, she does not plan on giving any additional information because it will go against like something else that she's trying to do. I think she's trying to get her charges expunged or something like that. So we'll see what comes up with that as well. But I'm just saying that Bill Clinton, he has a progression to his sun on the 12th of February. And then also there's an eclipse on February 17th, 2026, and this eclipse is going to be exactly opposite Donald Trump's ascendant. And the last time I saw an eclipse like this was when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. On September the 7th, 2025, there's a lunar eclipse that I believe there was a lunar eclipse on September the 7th, and then there's also a solar eclipse on September the 21st, 2025. Charlie Kirk was killed on September the 10th, 2025, and see, even before this date, there were several prolific politicians that would. Let me pause a second. Had to get some water. But there's a lot of high profile politicians that were having a ton of progressions around this time as well too. So, like I said, pretty much on August the 27th, 2025, Donald Trump Jr., his progressed ascendant conjoined his progressed Saturn, and that should have been a bad event for Donald Trump Jr. On September the 2nd, 2025, J.D. Vance, his progressed moon made an aspect to his Mars, and that should have been an angry and violent event that happened around that time. On September the 4th, 2025, Pete Hegseth, his progressed moon, I think it conjoined his natal or progressed Uranus, and this should have been a shocking event for Pete Hegseth. On September 5th, 2025, for Usher Vance, her progressed moon made an aspect to her Mars, and this should have been a violent, angry event around that time as well for Usher Vance. And weirdly enough, I think Taylor Swift, her progressed moon made an aspect to her sun, and it should have been some kind of situation where there was like an ego boost. Anyway, let me pause a second. recently, I think Candace Owens, she came out and she gave like a timeline in regards to Charlie Kirk. Basically how I believe Tyler Robinson, he knew, or he found out exactly where Charlie Kirk would be situated at before this event at where he was at before he was assassinated. Um, so weird enough, let me pause for a second, see if I can find the lore for that. So let me 1 second. Okay, so I don't know the exact name of the video that Candace Owens where she get his timeline, but via her, basically she said on August, for the date of August 27th, 2025, TPUSA plus UVU plus the local BYU chapter shared a graphic that Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. I think that's the campus. And so let's see here. And the date why I wrote this note down is on December the 18th, 2025. So I think Candace Owens released a video around this time, and I put a timestamp of 51 minutes and 10 seconds. So anyway, so the next date that Candace Owens gave for her timeline was on September 2nd, 2025. And she said it's the first time the local media, KMYU, mentioned Charlie Kirk was speaking in the courtyard which established Charlie Kirk's exact location. So the astrology lined up with that timeline. Like I said, the event started with Donald Trump Jr., where Donald Trump Jr.'s his progressed ascendant conjoined his progressed Saturn, which is a major bad event for Donald Trump Jr.'s circle. So these slew of progressions that are going on now. I've already said that Donald Trump, he had a progression of Saturn on January 14th, 2026, and Hillary Clinton, Hunter Biden, J.D. Vance, and a few others. They're all having progressions as well. And I was expecting something big to go down on the 18th of January, but nothing huge happened until I believe the 21st, which was when James Comer decided to hold Bill and Hillary Clinton inside of contempt of Congress. So, like I said, the next event that could pop up is going to be on the 24th of January for Bill Clinton, and it could be an echo event in regards to whatever went down in regards to the Epstein files on December the 17th, 2025. But like I said, Adam Schiff, he gets lucky because he has a progression of Jupiter. So the Democrats may come out lucky for somehow, some way. But the weird thing is that on February 17th, there's going to be an eclipse. It's going to be exactly opposite Donald Trump's natal ascendant. And so something bad could happen in regards to the Democrats or around that period of time. I think within 15 days after the 17th of February. Let me pause a second. Okay, also on the 26th of January 2026, transit Neptune will enter the sign Aries finally. And that, like I said, Adam Schiff gets lucky on this day. So I don't know what could come up in regards to that. I think also says January 26th, 2026. On February 13th, 2026, transit Saturn will enter the sign Aries on February 13th, and this is before this eclipse is going to be opposite Donald Trump's ascendant. And so I said in my previous videos that a prominent Democratic figure could be assassinated, but it might not be an assassination of a prominent Democrat. It might be just Bill Clinton being charged with something. Who knows? Because I think Bill Clinton's his natal sun is exactly opposite this this eclipse as well. And transit Saturn will conjoin, and so again, this eclipse is going to happen on. It's a new moon eclipse or a lunar eclipse. This happens on February 17th, 2026. So on February 20th, 2026, transit Saturn will conjoin transit Neptune, and that could deal with some crazy stuff as well too. See, because Hillary Clinton, she would have the same astrology as I think the beginning of the impeachments for Bill Clinton. It's where her progressed moon will oppose her natal Mars, and it's on February 23rd, 2026. And it could be probably explosive, transformative anger. Let's see. Also on the same around the same date on February 24th, 2026 for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will oppose her progressed Pluto, and so again that could be explosive, angering news. And let's see here. Shit. On February 26th, 2026, transit Mercury was stationed, and I told you throughout all these videos, with transiting Mercury conjoining transiting Mars in the sky, it's like the Mercury retrograde from hell. Like every time Mercury has conjoined transit Mars, which it won't happen yet, but this is just transiting Mercury getting ready to go back and conjoin transit Mars. Every time it's conjoined transit Mars, there's been a huge event in regards to the Epstein situation, Virginia DeFrey, Prince Andrew, and internet outages. There was an internet outage on I believe January the 14th, 2026, but the astrology was shown on January the 18th, and that was the day that transiting Mercury conjoined transiting Mars in the sky. So let's see here. So again, transiting Mercury was stationed to go retrograde on February 26, 2026. Let's see here. So on March the 10th, 2026, transit retrograde Jupiter was stationed and go direct. So let's see here. Let me see if there's any because I'm not going to talk about March in this video. I don't think. Let's see here. And I will say again that this Epstein situation is not we're not going to reach the climax in regards to that until probably July the 20th, 2026. And that's when for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will make a 1/12 aspect to his natal moon. And again, it's July 20th, 2026. And see, the last time this happened, where Bill Clinton, his progressed moon, made a 1/12 aspect to his natal moon, I believe it was on February the 9th, 1999. And I think that the impeachments for Bill Clinton ended on February the 12th, 1999. So, but another thing in regards to this year is that for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will make a sextile to his progressed Uranus and his natal Uranus. And that happens on August 9th, 2026. And that could be a huge shocking event. Who knows? It might be a reveal that Danny Williams Clinton is Bill Clinton's biological son. I don't know. And if you don't know, there's a black man who claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son. But they're all news sources state that the claims are for now unproven. I keep bringing this up because for Bill Clinton, I said that on October 11th, 2025, Bill Clinton I said his life changed on or around that day. And see, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus, it started retrograding all the way back on, I believe, December the 5th, 1985. And keep in mind that Danny Williams Clinton was born on December 7th, 1985. So for Bill Clinton's progressed Uranus to start retrograding around the same date that Danny Williams Clinton was born, and it's going to retrograde, and it has retrograded all the way back since that day. It's been, what, 35 years? 40 years? Let me pause a second to get the because I can't count and make a video at the same time. So no, it's been 41 years since Danny Williams Clinton's birth. And so for Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus, to wait 41 years, and it's like right when Donald Trump has become the president of the United States, and right when they're having this huge Epstein situation, scandal or whatever, and then it wants to the astrology shows that it conjoins his natal Uranus, and it began to retrograde on around the date that Danny Williams Clinton was born. Anyway, that would be insane for like all secrets to come out. I need to put that judgment card. As a matter of fact, I will. Let me pause a second. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out this judgment card, this tarot card. Let's see if I can hold it better than that. But well, all secrets end up getting revealed. And basically, the tower, and you see the man and the woman fall out of the tower, whatever. It was like Bill and Hillary Clinton. Anyway, I probably sound crazy as heck, and I probably sound low energy today because I really am. I didn't want to make a video today. I think this video is going to just be pure astrology. I'm going to try to end it at 24 minutes or 25 minutes. Because I was just trying to give it like a little small update or whatever. Let me see here. Is this recording? Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. So I forgot what I was saying. So, and I think I was talking about Danny Williams Clinton. So, like, I want to repeat myself or whatever, but pretty much what definitively proves to me via the astrology that Danny Williams is in fact Bill Clinton's biological son is the fact that on November 10th, 1985, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Saturn made a sextile to his natal Mars, and on November 11th, 1985, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mars made a square to his natal Saturn. And see, these progressions last a very, very long time. So it would be within the orb of time of Danny Williams Clinton's birth, which is on December 7th, 1985. But weird enough, I didn't notice all the way back when I first saw this astrology, but it's on December 5th, 1985, which is 2 days before Danny Williams Clinton was born. Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus began to retrograde. So that proves to me that or that, how do I say this? Let me pause a second. So that proves to me and gives me a very strong opinion that Danny Williams Clinton is in fact Bill Clinton's biological son. And if there was any time to reveal this secret or whatever, it would probably be sometime this year because it's an election year. Speaking of the election year or whatever, this Minnesota situation, this Minneapolis situation, these riots, I am burnt out. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm up here looking at this ooh, time is going by quick. I'm up here looking at this let me pause a second to get my words right. Okay. So I was looking at this very prominent black social media influencer or whatever. And basically, like, apparently this person lives inside of Minnesota. And they started off like, oh my God, we knew there was fraud or whatever, but man, I didn't know it was like this. And then so it's like some of this person's donors or whatever just stopped donating to her. And next thing you know, she's like, oh well, every state has fraud. And all talking way different than how this person started off. And so I'm just like, to me it seems like all these people are shilling for just a very, very specific agenda. And it's like, I just don't care anymore. My main focus is the Clintons. But looking at the future astrology, everything's just going to go to shit. So I'm just like, and then Trump and Greenland. I'm like, we looking at the future astrology, we need Greenland, we need Mexico too. But anyway. Or what? Venezuela. Sorry. Because the United States doesn't produce anything as far as I know. We do produce like media, social media and stuff like that, but I'm like, when things get down to nitty gritty, you're gonna need something in your hands. And yeah, I don't anyway. So let's see here. I was having this discussion with a cable TV guy who was installing like a cable TV. And so I was asking him, does he like his job or whatever? And he was like, it's a job. He was like, I really wish I could be inside IT and stuff like that. And I was like, pretty much they're gonna get rid of IT jobs, whatever. That's just software. And he was like, well, nah, they're gonna always need like programmers and stuff like that. I'm like, well, pretty much in the future, AI, it might take over stuff, whatever. And he was like, nah, basically, I think AI has reached its peak or whatever. I'm like, nah. Pretty much, I think the future is inside of hardware and it's inside of robots. And basically, the hardware, because software, it can always be basically copied, altered, destroyed, or anything. And so I was thinking like I'm pretty much. Let me pause a second to get my thoughts right. But I was thinking that pretty much instead of having these huge power plants or investing inside these huge power plants and these nuclear power plants or whatever, I think the United States needs to invest inside of like redesigning the memory card. I believe there's a new or old type of memory card called 5D memory. It's like a 5D crystal or whatever. And so I think they said that it can store up to 360 terabytes of information. And so I would think that pretty much if you could store that much information on a small device and find a way to have computers that are small that are able to read it but are also able to be manageable in regards to, you know, everyday life or whatever, there'll be a huge deal in the future. So instead of having, because I mean, instead of having these huge plants or whatever, because I think the computer, the supercomputers, they used to take up like a huge room or whatever, and they used to take they used to need like a special kind of cooling and whatever, and so now we have supercomputers like in our in our pockets, you know, and so I think that we need to redesign basically what we need to rethink how we're thinking in regards to producing the results that we're looking for in regards to the future. Anyway, I think we'll stop right there. I was trying to keep this video short. I was trying to do like 15 minutes, but I went on and on and on. So hopefully this video is cohesive and able to be understood. So anyway, bye for now.